Good evening, my little goblins, and welcome to my haunt. I am the Countess Craft. Tonight, I will be reading some short stories and poems from Spooky Stories. We will begin with Little Orphan Annie, from the original poem by James Whitcomb Riley. Little orphan Annies come to our house to stay, and wash the cups and saucers up, and brush the crumbs away, and shoo the chickens off the porch, and dust the hearth and sweep, and make the fire, bake the bread, and earn her board and keep. And all us other children, when the supper thing is done, we sit around the kitchen fire and have the mostest fun, listening to the spooky tales that Annie tells about, and the goblins that will get you if you don't watch out. The Yeti, written by Brian Conway. A Sherpa boy named Aang Chiki lived near the mountains of Nepal. His uncle taught him how to hike in the Himalayan mountains. One day when he was hiking, Aang saw fresh tracks that crossed the trail. These footprints were large and wide. Aang put his boot in one. The tracks were deep. They held his feet well. Aang stretched his legs to step in them one by one. The track stopped at the opening of a dark, icy cave. Aang stepped closer and peeked into the cave. It smelled awful. From inside the cave, something grunted and growled. Aang stepped back in fright. His face became as pale and cold as the icy cliffs around him. Aang turned and ran. The people of Nepal tell stories about wild creatures in the mountains. The Sherpa called them Yeti, which means snowman. Some people know the Yeti as the abominable snowman. Many hikers say they have seen the savage snowman in the mountains of Nepal, Tibet, China, and Russia. They find huge footprints in the snow. In 1986, a mountain climber claimed he came within 30 feet of a Yeti. Scientists have searched caves and rocks in the Himalayan mountains. They only discovered clumps of rough white hairs. One Sherpa guide said the Yeti are not real. They are only in the scary stories people tell their children. Some researchers compare stories of the Yeti with the stories about Bigfoot, but Yeti are smaller and they have white hair. The researchers say the Yeti could be something like cold weather cousin of Bigfoot. In dense jungles, deep oceans, and high mountaintops, there are very few people ever go. Scientists are discovering many unfamiliar creatures. Will they ever find a Yeti? Until we meet again, little goblins, grab your favorite book, and don't forget to R.I.P. Read in peace. Good night.